Welcome to Boardly. Let me tell you a little bit about this application. So what you're looking here is a board, and a board is a central concept in Boardly, hence the name. And this is where all of your work is going to be organized and scheduled, and that's where you will track all the tasks that you have. Now, before I get into any of this, I want to explain the concept upon which Boardly was built, and it's related to scheduled and unscheduled work. So mostly when people organize their tasks, they kind of put them into the different lists and just prioritize them, move them up and down. This is the first thing that I want to work on. And that's how kind of most people think about work. Boardly is built on a different concept, and the concept is scheduled versus unscheduled work. So basically, anything that's not scheduled doesn't get done. Anything that's scheduled gets done. What does that mean? That means when you schedule something, you commit to it by saying, I will do this on this particular day, or I will do this on this particular day and time. And anything that's not scheduled is just kind of sits in the unscheduled bucket. So Boardly, each board has two buckets, unscheduled and scheduled. And as you can tell, they're a little bit different from each other, the tasks. There's unscheduled that's always at the top and scheduled that's always at the bottom. And the way you can tell the difference between scheduled and unscheduled tasks is that scheduled tasks have a time and a date assigned to it. So you have January 14th, 9 a.m., 30 minutes, scheduled work. Same thing here, 10 a.m., 60 minutes on January 14th, scheduled work. And there's something that's not scheduled at a specific time, but is assigned to a day, which is January 16th, and I'll say all day. Now, anything that's not scheduled will not have the time assigned to it. When you add a new task, you have several options here. So you can create the task name. So let's say we want to create a presentation. And at this point, all you got to do is press enter, add task, and it will go immediately into the unscheduled section. And then it will reset so you can create as many tasks as you want, one after the other. It will tell you at the top the last task you've created and the title of it. And as you can tell, it appeared in the unscheduled section. Now, if you want to schedule that task, so review presentation, you can either write the date, the time, or like say tomorrow or next week, which will be next week from today, or you can actually select the date that you want. So let's say we want to schedule on the 30th. You can then write the time. Let's say we want to do a 9 a.m. and then a duration. You can tab between fields. You want it 60 minutes. Now, if you have repeatable tasks, you can set a repetition to be any of these options here. There's also a priority option, and the priority option means how important is this. So there's unknown. Most tasks will go on unknown, but if you really want to pay attention to it, you can set it to high. You can add a due date. So the concept of due dates and schedule time is different. Due date is something that's super important to remember. A scheduled is the time where you actually decide to work on. So the two different concepts here. So you can select the due date as well. So let's say put a due date on 30th as well, and you will see what it looks like once we add it in. And then optional description. So when you're ready, click on add task. I added it, and then let's close it here, and let's see what it looks like. Scroll down, and there it is, review presentation. So as you can tell, this exclamation mark here is showing you that it's an important task. Priority is high. You have a due date stamp on the side here, so that due date is different from the time it was scheduled. And as you can tell, we scheduled on January 30th, and there it is. And the due date is there to kind of draw your eye to it. Now, once you've scheduled, it's there. So the next thing that happens is in Boardly, you go to your agenda, and the agenda is where all of your work from different boards is kind of brought together, all your scheduled work. So when you click on agenda, you will have this calendar here. It will show you the next 6 weeks in your calendar and tell you what the date is, and then give you the time range here. These red dots are indications that there's something happening on that day. Something has been scheduled. Some task has been scheduled for that day. Now, on the main page, when you look at your agenda, you have your today. What do you have scheduled for today? Now, right now, I don't have anything scheduled for today, but I do have all the tasks that was scheduled before that I didn't get to. So anything that's been scheduled, but you never got to, you didn't check off, gets compounded and piled into the today section, meaning pay attention to this. Now, anything that's scheduled for tomorrow, as you can see, January 21st is tomorrow. So you will have here in the tomorrow section, and then you also get the next 5 days visuals. You don't see the one that we scheduled for the 30th because it's not in the next 5 days. Now, when you're done, when you're finished working on something, you just check off, and it will close off the task. Now, if you want to see a specific day, so in the next 6 weeks, for example, you want to see what's happening there. So, for example, we scheduled something for the 30th. If you want to see what's there on the 30th, you just click on this 30th date, and then you will see all the tasks that have been scheduled for that day. So anywhere there's a red dot, means that there's work that's been scheduled. So you can just look at that date specifically, right? And you can kind of flip between the different dates and all of that. So that's agenda. Another thing with the agenda is that you can add it to your calendar. So when you click on add calendar, you get this URL here. It will say boardlycalendar.com, and then you can copy this agenda URL, and then you can add it to your calendar, subscribe to it, and then you'll get all of these on your calendar as well. So that's agenda. Now, to go back to boards, you click on boards, and we built shortcuts for each of these. So you can press B or press A to get to the agenda, press B to go to boards, press N to go to notes, press P to go to plans. We'll take you through all of these in a little bit. So let's go back to boards. Let's go back to the Coles board. So you have all your different boards organized by theme or board category, and each theme has a color associated with it. So when you click, let's go back to Coles. Let's say we want to schedule this task, create presentation for today. We want to work on it today. So you have two options here. You can three options actually. You can open click on the task, open it, and just say today, and then press update, and it will go into your section here. So now there it is here on the 20th. Now, what you can do here is you can also schedule it for a different day. So there's this shortcut here. So you can schedule it for tomorrow, and then all of a sudden it changes to tomorrow or for another day. You can unschedule it, meaning put it back into the unscheduled section. So right there, it's back here. From the unscheduled, you can also schedule it like this, or you can just drag it and then drop it here, and it will schedule it for today. So whenever you drag an unscheduled task into a scheduled section, it schedules it for today. And finally, those are the three options, right? You can edit, you can use the shortcuts here, or you can drag. So there it is, and you can always unschedule. You can also move tasks to a different board. So you have a list of boards, you can move them to networking, and then it'll disappear and go into the networking section. On the left side, you have a quick navigation, so you can jump between boards quickly. You don't need to go and look for things. There's also a shortcut, Shift B, and then you can just use your keyboard if you want to switch between boards. So let's say we want to go to Conduent, Shift B, let's go back to Coles, and then you can use your keys, your keyboard, and then kind of move on up and down and all of that stuff. There's update task, which is the same thing as clicking on here, and there's also delete. Deleting the task makes it permanent. It's gone. When you check it off, it goes into the completed task section, and you can take a look and see what's been completed recently. Right, so that's boards. There's a lot more things that are happening here, but just for now, this is a good pause to move on to a different section. Now, at the top, you see there's this M thing, right? It's called a main menu, and the main menu is you get the big shortcuts to different areas, but you also, if you press M or you click on it, you get this main menu drop down, and here you have this brainstorm tasks, you have new task, new note, and with shortcuts for that. So you can do Shift T, you can create a new task like this, and then Shift N. We'll talk about the notes in a little bit. So let's go to menu, and then you have your recent boards, the ones you've completed tasks on, so you can kind of quickly navigate to to boards that you frequently work on. So it's very handy, especially press M, move it up and down, and then just go to whatever board you need to go to. So press M. There's also this thing called brainstorm tasks, and brainstorm tasks is Shift M to do it. It's a quick way to add tasks to an inbox board. Basically, you just say you have stuff to do and you don't want to go to a different board and organize it right away. You just want to do a brain dump of stuff. You start writing, talk to John about marketing, pick up groceries, cool book to read, all of that, right? So once you've finished, you click on add all. It will add the tasks into the inbox, and you can go to the board, and then from here in the inbox board, that's the default board, you can move the task to a different board. All right, now let's look at notes. To go to notes, you can click on notes, or you can press N, and I'll take you to the notes section. And this section is just the general notes. We just, in case you want to remember something and you want to write something down that's not like task related, you just want to keep track of things. For example, random quote you heard, you want to keep track, maybe an interesting idea, maybe a list of books, maybe soccer roster or something like that, or like list of competitors. So organized by category. You can click on the note to edit, and then automatically saves for you. So if you want to add something else, maybe talk to the talking about good things, whatever it is, and you can change the category that it belongs to, and it automatically saves the changes. Press escape, and then it's there, right? So it's saved right there. Now let's look at the one more section called plans. Now plans is your goals for the year. And everybody has goals, and there's just a way to keep track of them is kind of difficult. You write them down or whatever it is, like you on your paper, or maybe on some Word document or something like that. But you forget, right? Because you need constant reminder of what it is. So this is what the goals are. And goals, you can make goals for personal, you can make goals for business, any other areas, learning, whatever it may be. And the way it's organized is organized by year and by month. So you set a yearly goal, and then you will have monthly objectives to hit that goal. So it just immediately has a structure for you. It's not free for all. It's you need to think about, okay, what do I want to achieve in a year, and like for each month, you might want to think about objectives for that goal. So, and then you can also set goals for future years if you want to plan that far ahead. So if I look at my increase consulting revenue by 30% goal, so there's a label business and there's personal goal 30 pounds. You can move them around if you want from here to there. And so click into here, and then in here we will have there's no objective for January. But on the February, we have these two objectives, and in March, we have these two objectives. And then again, you can reorganize them however you want. And these goals are there for you to kind of keep track of what you want to do, hit them. And if you are finished with the objective, you can mark it as complete and it's done. So it's just a way for you to track this. But there's also an additional option here. Let's say you want to just have this goal top of mind all the time. So you can go to this 3-button menu section. You can go to edit. And then there's the option here, show you this goal in your agenda. When you click on that and you click on save, and then you go to agenda, press A, it will appear at the top here. So it will be reminding you that you're trying to hit that goal all the time now. Every day you look, it's like, oh, my goal for 2026 is to increase revenue by 30%. So it's just a way to keep it in the back of your mind, always kind of remind you where you're trying to go. Let's go back to plans, and then you see I've completed one objective. So they have a little progress here button. There's this option of locking, and locking is a way to lock in the changes. So you can't make changes. Once you lock, the only thing you can do with the goal is complete. You can't make changes to it. You can't take it off the agenda. If you put it on the agenda, you can't take it off the agenda. You can unlock it again, and then you can do the changes. But it's just an extra step to kind of make you feel like you've committed to it, right? Locking is committing. So once you've locked, you will see that it's locked. You can add objectives, complete them, all of that stuff, but you can't change the goal itself. You can't remove it off the agenda. It will always be on the agenda. So it's just a way to lock it in for yourself. So that's plans. You can create a new note from any screen by pressing Shift N, and it'll create a brand new note, and you can start typing. I want to remember this note. And then you can change to whatever category you want, and it'll resave itself. And then you can change the title. Remember me, maybe put it into business. And then once it's done, once it's saved, you can just press escape and you can go to notes and it should appear right there. So it's not organized. Okay, see, this is a beta version, so we're doing bugs here. So now we need to make sure that this note goes to the top because it's actually the most recent note. But you can go to different categories and you can see what's happening here. So by the time you actually use this, you'll be organized by newest one at top. And that's Boardly in a nutshell. There's a few other features here and there hidden, so you can explore them as you can. But it's a quick way to help you organize yourself and get your tasks in order. Make sure that you complete all the work and keep track of all the different projects you have on the go. Because as a solopreneur, as a solo business owner, there's probably 15, 20, 30 different things that you are running, organizing, and you want to need to plan all of this stuff. And an easy way to organize it would be just to have this scheduled and a scheduled process, and then your board's organized by theme, and then everything on one place on the agenda. All right, so I will see you in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed Boardly. Cheers.